Hey, everybody. This is the broadcast of the 1990 Super Bowl in the SSRFL Strat-O-Matic Football League. We have a game here between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams. In real life, this was the wide right game of the Buffalo Bills against the New York Giants. In our replay, the Rams, led by Zeb S, upset the Giants, led by Scott Kaplan, and they advanced to the Super Bowl to face Kurt Klein and the Buffalo Bills. And here we joining the game in progress. They got a little started a little bit earlier. I must have missed a big play there because it's only 12 minutes gone in the game since, or 12 minutes left in the first quarter since we joined. Let's look at the the Rams got the ball first through an interception that was a pick six. So that's all we missed. And then the Rams' second drive, here they are driving down to the 29. Off tackle draw left to Cleveland Gary. It's a fumble. It looks like the Bills have stopped this drive. So back-to-back drives have resulted in turnovers. First, a pick six, and then a fumble inside the 30. So the Rams are a little frustrated on offense, but it's tons of time left. Jim Kelly and his K-gun offense take the field for the first time today. They've got Andre Reed at one receiver. Look at that. It's max receiver, short and long. James Lofton, ex-Green Bay Packer, on the other side. Keith McKellar at tight end. Jamie Muller, a fullback, as he goes to a pro set. Pro set, and Thurman Thomas in the backfield. Rams go with a 3-3-5, which is an interesting idea to try to stop this high-powered Buffalo offense. But Thurman can run it really well. Pitch out left to Thurman, and it's the dreaded 5, so no gain. You've got a 0 at strong safety, a 0 at right cornerback. Then the left cornerback, Jerry Gray's a 4. And the free safety, Vince Newsom, is a 4. So lots of 4s and 0s to shoot at for Kurt and the Bills. Bright and early Sunday morning here on the West Coast. Off tackle right to Kenneth Davis, and it's fumbled, but it looks like the Bills have got it. As one of the offensive linemen fall on the ball. Josh H. Davis, the right guard, jumped on it. So we've seen 2 fumble splits, and the Rams haven't got that break they needed. But they haven't allowed the Bills to pick up a first down on this drive either. So big third down here. The Bills go 3 wide. Don Beebe comes into the game in place of the fullback. Also covered by a 0. Bobby Humphrey's a 0. It's a fly to James Lofton, and incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. Illegal procedure, a.k.a. offsides, a.k.a. Really, it would be nice if Strat would fix that without showing the result, because it's like a pre-snap penalty. So 3rd and 14 now. As you can see, Kelly's got that great card with completions on 8, 9, and 30. Pick split on 10. Screen right to Thurman Thomas as Kurt was anticipating a triple-double. And Rick Booten-Tooten is in the game, lining up to punt. Ex-Seahawk. And it's only a 30-yard punt. He shanks it. Let's see about the return. Oh, I think we crashed. Hopefully the participants did not crash, but for me, I could just tell from the way it was reacting that it did not. Something happened with the animation. Back and take a look. It's a long pass to Robert Del Pino. So the return was like a 20-yard return. And it's a long gain. So as good as as Jim Kelly was in this set. Look at Jim Everett guessed wrong. Completions on 7, 8, and 9. And a long gain on 7 to begin with. So that there you go. Just like that. It's a tie game. And the extra point's up. Mike Lansford knocks it through, and it's 7-7. Let's look at that punt return. It kicks out to the takeover at the 35. Let's look at the box score real quick. So the punt return we missed was a 13-yard return, but Darrell Henley. First and 10. Bills looking to come back with their own quick strike. They go pro set. Zeb stays with the 3-3-5. Button hook to Thurman Thomas. That's going to be a 10-yard gain and a first down. 0-min in zone. Zeb had pulled two guys back to the deep zone, thinking that Kurt was going to right away look for the big strike. The Rams have a very poor pass defense. And against Jim Kelly, that's not good. That means with 3-min in zone, a 4 is long gain. But Zeb's going to this 3-3-5 to prevent that by double teaming two guys every time. Screen left to Thomas, another pickup, 9 yards this time, another 0-min in zone result. And suddenly the Bills, after two quick plays and a good kickoff return, have the ball in Ram territory. 6:53 to go in the first quarter, 7-7 in the 1990 SSRFL Super Bowl. Let me share this out with everybody in case people want to watch. Off tackle left, Thomas picks up 5. So I need this link. First and 10, ball at the Ram 41. Kenneth Davis checks into the game, another weapon in the Bills' arsenal. Look at that card. Zeb will wind up keying sometimes, just to throw things off. It's an off tackle left. Davis picks up 6. Looks like the fullback was being double covered down to the 35. Both these teams are capable of moving the ball. The defenses are capable of also making a big play. We've already seen what we saw on the box score, a pick 6 and several fumbles. Inside run to Thomas, picks up 5 on the fumble split. So that's where the Rams defense can turn the ball over against the run. 2 through 5, 11, and 12 in this set for them. Sometimes when your opponent goes 3-3-5, you have to run him out of it. But watch Zeb; he'll switch it up and key the halfback at some point. Hard to do when you got Jim Kelly staring at you. Pitch out left to Thomas. So Kurt is determined to run him out of this defensive formation. And Zeb is just focused on shutting down the passing game. Thomas only 15 yards today on 4 runs. Hasn't hit any of his big numbers or any of the short gains that he'll have in other columns. No, I guess he only has the edge numbers in this set. Button hook to Thomas, being double covered, incomplete. Would have been a 7-yard pickup, just guessed right. 3rd and 5. We all know about what happened in real life with Scott Norwood. His card from this range is not great. 2 through 7 and 12. If Marv Levy had played Strat-O-Matic and knew what his card would look like, maybe he would have been a little more aggressive on that last drive. Off tackle right to Thomas. Nose tackle 0 or +5, and Alvin Wright makes the play. So out comes Norwood. Nope. He's going to keep the offense on the field, and he knows about his card. It's like a 50% chance from this range. He goes 3 wide, making it a little bit tougher on Zeb unless he goes 3-2-6, which is a possibility. No, he goes 3-3-5, wanting to keep that linebacker run containment in there. Kevin Green's the big pass rushing threat. Crossing pattern to Andre Reed, double covered and incomplete. That would have been good. Guessed right. If we gone to a different receiver, it would have been good for a field goal if the roll would have been also 5. So the Bills turn the ball over on downs. Let's look at that Ram offensive line. They got 7, 4, 5, 4, 5 at pass blocking. Great run blocking. 6, 1, 6, 3 5s, and a 4. Pass rush for the Bills, pretty good. Bruce Smith and Darryl Talley. Inside run draw to Cleveland Gary. It's a fumble split. It looks like the Bills may have it. Ray Bentley picks the ball up. So 3 times the Rams have turned it over. One's a pick 6 deep in their own end. One's a fumble here deep in their own end. And the other a fumble when they were in scoring range. So let's see how the Bills take advantage of this turnover. Gary's 2 through 6 and 12. Turnovers and big plays often turnovers, big plays, and penalties in this set make the difference. Pitch out right to Thomas. It's going to be a 15-yard pickup as the linebacker had moved inside to plug that zone and it was wide open, so you get the extra 10 yards on an 8 with those brackets there. 1st and 10 at the 11. Flare right to Jamie Mueller. Nobody's there, but it's on the quarterback's card, guessed right, and there's a hold on the Bills. That'll back him up to the 20. Kelly off to a slow start today. Off tackle left to Kenneth Davis. That's going to be a 5-yard pickup, but another flag on the play. This time is the Rams, neutral zone infraction. They'll accept the penalty. It'll be 1st and 15. The Bills stay in the pro set. Kenneth Davis checks into the game. This is the guy with all the short gains. He's got 10 unfatigued carries left. Useful as a runner and as a decoy. Off tackle right. This time he's carrying the ball. Linebacker end zone -2 or +4. That picks up 4. But now it's 2nd and 11. Almost back to the original line of scrimmage before the penalties. Zeb has now gone to a 3-4, excuse me, a 3-4 defense inside the 20. Slant to Keith McKellar, being double covered, and here comes the pass rush. Is that Kevin Green? No, it's Mike Peel. He comes in there and makes the play. He's got a nice rate too. So we got a couple of good pass rushers there. Oh, Peel must have been the free safety, yeah. I don't see him on the field right now. Crossing pattern to Reed. Defender X or +15, and it's incomplete on 3rd and 14 as the 4, Jerry Gray, makes the play. And here comes Mr. Unreliable, Scott Norwood. And he misses, shanks it. Wide left that time. You can see why Kurt is aggressive on 4th downs. 2 through 7 and 12. He did not get any help from the variable field goal rate. 7-7. Rams and Bills knotted here in the Super Bowl. Slant to Pete Holohan. That's going to be a dump off for 9 yards. 2nd and 1. And that's the end of the first quarter. Jim Everett, a solid 5 of 6 so far with a touchdown and that pick 6. It was a 66-yard interception return. I guess it wasn't, unless it was a bomb. Might have been a bomb deep in his own territory, but either way, pick 6 is good. Good for the goose. Good for the gander. You got to watch out for Everett's interception chances. That was a flat pass to Buford McGee that's incomplete on a receiver reading. Gary and Del Pino were in the backfield. Del Pino can carry the ball, guessed wrong. Slant to Pete Holohan against the run call on 3rd and 1. And it's a 11-yard pickup, but there's a flag down, and it's a roughing call against the Bills, so that'll move it into Bill territory. 1st and 10 at the 45. And it's a fine card, just about as fine a card as you will see guessed wrong. Up the middle draw to Buford McGee. That'll pick up 4 on his card. 2nd and 6 down at the 41. Gaston Green checks into the game. Blocking back halfback set. Looks like a Green's card. He's got some juice on the edges and off tackle. That's a square into Flipper Anderson. 7-yard pickup and a 1st down. Let's take a look at the Rams field goal kicker. Carney Lansford. More reliable, but still 2 through 8 from 13 to 22. Not very reliable at all until you get down to the 23-yard line. 2 through 5 and 12. Even worse than Norwood. So a little bit better once he's inside the 22. But field goal kicking in this era is not the greatest. Bomb to Flipper Anderson, single covered, and it's a dump off for 16 yards, and now they're in good field goal range as they will line up at the 18-yard line. Nate Odoms in on the tackle. Odoms is a cornerback 5. Talked about Talley as a 6. We got 3 6s here on the linebacker level. Conlon, Bennett, and Talley. Ray Bentley's a 5. Flipper Anderson's covered by a 4. Up the middle draw, and he calls run, and that's going to be like it's keyed. If it had just been guessed right, it would have been no gain, but he loses a yard. So nice switch up there by Kurt. Not, you can't just call pass all day. Pro set against the 3-4. Quick into Buford McGee. That's going to be a 7-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 4. Everett showing no signs of slowing down. 9 of 11 for 124. He goes 3 wide on 3rd and 4 with Cleveland Gary in the backfield. He can run guessed wrong and guessed right for 4 yards on a line buck and off tackle. So don't discount the run here. He's got shooting at 6s at the linebacker level. So he might just try to run a draw or try to hit a number on the D card or hit a good number on Gary's card. There's no containment in effect since it's less than 5 yards. Quick out right to Pete Holohan. It's a key on Gary, and that's going to be a touchdown. Guessed right would have been incomplete. Zeb crossed him up there, showed him what, he looked at Gary's card like I did and think, oh, he can still run here. So he tried to key him to stop the drive, but Zeb was using that as a decoy. Brings out Mike Lansford. The extra point's good, and it's 14-7. Rams in front. Let's take a quick look at the regular season standings for these two teams. The Bills were league second best in the league at 13-3, and the Rams were 12-4. The Rams were 11-5, and they did not face each other in the regular season. 1st and 10 now as the ball got returned 21 yards out to the 24. Zeb told me before the game that this was going to be his toughest challenge. Crossing pattern to Andre Reed and 4 men in zone, so it's incomplete. There was nobody deep. Let's take a look at the deep card for the Rams. So they got a lot of numbers to shoot for deep. Still going with that 3-3-5 defense. Pass defense isn't bad on a short pass with 4 men in zone. I've seen a lot worse cards than that. Kenneth Davis in the game. Off tackle left to Davis, and he's being keyed, but that zone's not plugged, so it's just going to be guessed right. So Zeb's mixing it up too on defense. 3rd and 11 now. Bills go 3 wide. Four runs for Davis for 10 yards. So not hitting those short gains. Bomb to Don Beebe. It's going to be a 29-yard pickup. Guessed right on Kelly's card. The K gun comes out. Would have been guessed right. Guess plus 29, guessed right, wrong, or double teamed. What's Kelly on a 9 on a short pass? It would have been a plus 14 on a short pass. You can keep shooting that for that deep pass, especially if you think you're going to mix him up with a run call. But that's the only thing that's weak on Kelly's is his interception chances. Screen left to Thomas, and he's double covered. D card, nearly a pick. Kenneth Davis checks into the game. Second and 10 here. 3-3-5 again for the defense. Off tackle right to Davis. There's that short gain. Finally hits one. Plus 15. That sets him up at the 33. 8:40 to go in the half. How quickly one of those can improve your yards per carry average, as Davis is now up to 5 yards a carry. Thomas back in the game. Hitch to James Lofton as Thurman Thomas is being keyed, and that's an 8-yard pickup. Kelly's numbers improving slightly, as now Kurt is crossing up Zeb a bit. Zeb Strong, the coach of the Los Angeles Rams, and Kurt Klein, the coach of the Buffalo Bills. 2nd and 2. Off tackle right to Thomas. There's a man in the zone. It's going to pick up just a yard. It would have been a 7-yard pickup without that man there. So 3rd and 1 here, and we know I've already talked about Scott Norwood. Don't want to keep beating that dead horse, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Bills be aggressive here. 14-7 Rams in the 1990 SSRFL Super Bowl. Pro set. At 3-4 defense this time for the Rams. Off tackle right to Thomas. It's going to pick up 4 and a first down. There was a man in the zone. Even with 2 men there, it would have been a first down. 1st and 10 at the 20. Back to the 3-3-5 for Zeb. Short pass to Jamie Mueller. 3-man in zone. Nobody covering him, and it's incomplete. So that's what Zeb will do for you, or do to you. He double teams your better receivers, and then you have to wind up throwing it to your weaker guys. Mueller's not bad, but certainly that's not the receiver card you want to be landing on. Keller's not bad. Button hook to Davis. It's going to be a 12-yard pickup. Guessed wrong as the linebacker covering him was moving, but there's a hold on the Bills. Again, penalties rearing their ugly head. Let's look at the box score. See how the penalties have been so far. They've been pretty one-sided. 4 for 40 against the Bills. Only 1 for 5 yards against the Rams. 2 Ram fumbles that they have lost. And the pick. So 3-0 turnover advantage, and they have the lead. 2nd and 20. Davis back in there for his short gain threats. Off tackle left to Davis. Another short gain that picks up 14. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. Thomas in the game. 3 wide for the Bills. 3-3-5 for the Rams. 5:30 to go in the half. We saw a correct double team on Andre Reed in a similar spot on the last drive. This time it's a sideline left to Don Beebe. Single cover, and he picks up just 5. That'll bring up 4th and 1. Will we see Norwood try it? No, forget it. Go big or go home. These 4th down plays were going to be pretty huge. Thomas in there. You can see a flat pass here, a short pass. Thomas can run on any level. Can Mueller run? Well, it's a flare right to Mueller, and he picks up 10, down to the 1, as he was keying Thomas. Would have had to been a correct double team on Mueller to stop that play. 1st and goal at the 1. Time to pound it in. Full house as Don Smith checks into the game. Oh, look at that card. Where is this guy? Mix him into the game sometime. He's just like Kenneth Davis. So maybe after Davis is done, this guy will get some chances. Inside run to Thomas, and Kelly's being keyed. So that'll be a 1-yard pickup. 2 men in the zone. No matter who the ball was going to be run to there, it would have been a touchdown. And Norwood ties it up. And it's 14-14. Return out to the 27. 4:17 to go. Far left to Robert Del Pino. Guessed right, 1 man in zone. Picks up 6. 2nd and 4. Second and 4 out to the 33, 3:41 to go in the half. Cleveland Gary in the game in a blocking back halfback set with Del Pino at fullback. Slant to Pete Holohan, guessed right, 3 man in zone. And that's a 16-yard pickup. And that moves the chains out towards midfield. Morning, bud. 14-14. Inside run to Gary. Not a draw. There's 1 man there, but it's 5 on the halfback card. Picks up a yard. Fumble. Gary has fumbled the ball twice today, losing both. 3 runs for 2 yards. So not a stellar day for Cleveland Gary. In real life, he might find himself on the bench after that kind of performance. But the Rams know they have to stick with him. They need some kind of running threat. It's a bomb here to Flipper Anderson. They need a running threat to keep that option open. And it's a dump off for 4 yards. It was a sack chance of 8%, but the random roll was 66. It's 3rd and 5. For a sack to happen, that random roll has to be under what's on the pass rush chart based on this matchup. Leon Seals against Jackie Slater. So 3rd and 5. They have a great pass rush on these linebackers, or at least on Bennett and Talley, but you also want to leave them home so that you don't leave any flat pass zones open, making it hard for them to pick up the first down. A lot of 0s and 4s in their secondary as well. Flare left to Buford McGee. 6-rated linebacker there is waiting for him. It's a receiver reading, incomplete. So will the Rams be aggressive here on 4th down, or will they punt? I'm guessing they're going to punt. Maybe if you had a different matchup, a different team, but when you have all those 6-rated linebackers there, you can't really count on the white die 6 to do anything for you. And with only 152 left in the half, you punt it deep and see if the Bills can drive the field. That was only Everett's 3rd incompletion of the day. And it goes into the end zone. So the Bills will take over on the 20. 1:45 to go. Thurman Thomas in the game. He's got those big hits on the edges. Maybe Kurt will run some end runs here. Try to get one of those edges and get out of bounds. Plus 26, plus 80. Long gain. It's a off tackle left, and he hits an edge, but it's on the D card for a 22-yard pickup. That moves the ball out to the 42. Thomas stays in the game. Off tackle left again. This time it's on the D card, but on the 3 roll with 1 man in zone, and that picks up just 3 thanks to the nice block by Jim Richter. Or Richer. One minute to go in the half. Bills need a couple more first downs. Off tackle draw left, and he's being keyed. 2-minute zone, fumble split. So I told you Zeb would mix that up sometimes. If he had gone deep, that would have been a receiver reading. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. And I'm not sure if the Bills won't use a timeout here for sure. They'll probably just, they'll just go hurry up. Takes it down to 37 seconds. You can still run here because you can shoot for the D card on the 6 and 7. Better off running a draw, though, because Zeb likes to bring those linebackers. He'll bring them inside thinking you're going to run off tackle. Picks up 8 on the D card, but that penalty, another penalty that pushes it back for the Bills. So it would have been a first down, and they would have been able to use their timeouts to try to get in the field goal range. But instead, it'll be 3rd and 12. And instead of going 3 wide, he's going pro set with Kenneth Davis, threatening a run here. Perhaps trying to hit a short gain and set up a 4th and short. I think Zeb will be happy with that because he'll want to use those Kenneth Davis carries up. Only 6 on 50 left. No, it's a quick in to Jamie Mueller. It's going to pick up 4 yards. Saves the carry there. But it'll be time to punt. 30 seconds left. And the Rams have the long gain on 7 on Everett's card, so they're still a threat to try to get some late points. 40-yard 40-yard punt down to the 16. And we had a crash last punt. A crash for me as a spectator. Let's see what happens. It's not. Oh, there it goes. Now it goes. 10 yards. It's a little bit of a delay there. So 1st and 10 at this Rams 26. Rams do threaten like they're going to try to push it down the field. They go 3 wide or 4. Yeah, 3 wide with Del Pino in the backfield. Wide receivers, we have that unlimited wide receiver rule. The halfbacks and fullbacks are still limited, so you're better off going 4 wide. Well, except Del Pino can go deep no matter what. He's got a dot. Slant to Pete Holohan being double covered, and that's going to be incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10, 15 seconds left. Now he goes 4 wide. Thinks about the same thing I did. That's funny. Holohan is a tight end, but he's also carded as a receiver. So I wonder how the game would handle that. I'm kind of hoping for a long pass to him to see what the game would do, because we have the rule. There's a rule in the strat that says, limit guys to their actual gain. Double reverse to Flipper Anderson, and that's going nowhere. So we have that rule that allows wide receivers to be unlimited. But what happens when a guy is a tight end and a wide receiver? Maybe it just depends on where he's lined up. The Rams lining up for a punt on 3rd down with 8 seconds left. Will this be a fake punt? There's still a chance for a pick. Yeah, it is a fake punt. You could easily turn the ball over here or fumble it just like you did there. See, Rams trying to be clever, but they might cost themselves 3 points here. Oh, they were able to recover the fake punt or the fumble on the fake punt. Jackie Slater, 50-50 chance. Could have been the Bills lining up for a field goal here. Another fake punt. Rams looking to catch lightning in a bottle. And it's incomplete. Interesting. I like the idea of the double reverse of the, that can get you a big play. because if he abandons his zone with all the linebackers, but he wouldn't have done that twice. Zeb says that went about as well as I could have hoped for. I have to agree with him. Right in this game, I mean, they have a great team. This is not like a total lopsided matchup. The Bills have very good weapons, but Kelly's interceptions are higher than Everett's. You need to get every guess wrong. So, two very good coaches with two very good teams. I had a feeling this was going to be a good game. So here we are, 14-42 at the half. They go right into it. Curled to James Lofton, single covered, 3-minute zone, incomplete. Receiver reading. Some nice numbers there. He just missed. Fly to James Lofton, 29 yards. Pickup, guessed right on the 9 roll. That'll take it into the Ram territory. So you're going to have to live with some of that risk of those that interception split on 10. I had a game. I was the Seahawks in this league, as I always am, and I faced the Bills in the playoffs, and I think I picked Kelly off 3 or 4 times, but I still lost because there's so many other good plays that happened. And, of course, Dave Craig threw his fair share of interceptions. 1st and 10 out to the 46. We can look at how these teams got here. It's not a bad idea. Check out the playoff run. Let's go back to the game first. That was a 7-yard guessed wrong run, or flat pass, excuse me, a 7-yard flat pass from Kelly to Jamie Muller, the fullback. Down to the 39. Off tackle right to Thomas. That picks up 5. You know, one of those edge runs to Thomas could break this game right open. So who keep running the ball? Rams doing a good job of mixing it up on defense, mixing in some run calls, plugging the zones, double teaming guys. Pitch out right to Thomas. That's going to go nowhere. Defensive end makes the play. -1 or +5, and Doug Reed in his 4 run rating stuffs it for a 1-yard loss. Not as much juice there on the outside runs. I like the stuff up the middle when you're out of the 3-3-5. Kenneth Davis comes into the game. 650 carries left for him. Inside run to Davis. Guessed wrong. Goes nowhere as it hits a 0 on the on the halfback's card. 3rd and 11. Thomas comes into the game. Beebe's got a decent card for a 3rd wide receiver. Let's see who Kelly lines up here. Quick slant to Muller, being double covered by the free safety. Nice plug. That would have been a 7-yard pickup and probably would have had him go for it on 4th down. Instead, he's going to bring in the punting team, which I don't know. Might as well go for it here. You're only going to pick up 15 yards possibly, unless you can really shank one. That's going to the end zone. So you pick up 15 yards, but if you go for it on 4th down, you have a chance to pick it up and keep the ball moving. First and 10. Rams get the ball after stopping the Bills on that first drive. Inside run to Gary. Guessed wrong, but there's a man there. Turns it into a 5-yard pickup from what would have been a 7-yard pickup. And if you would have run a draw there, it would have been 17 yards since there's nobody back there. Gary and Delpino in the backfield. Inside run draw to Gary, and he's being keyed. Linebacker in right zone, -1 or +4. Ray Bentley, the only guy who's not a 6, gets stung by a white die 6. 3rd and 1. Delpino and Gary in a pro set. Irv Pankey is tasked with stopping Bruce Smith. Inside run to Gary. There's a man there. It's going to pick up 6. It's a first down. Even with 2 men in the zone, that would have been a first down. Rams looking to grind it out a little bit here. Get the Bills to start calling a run regularly and then try to beat them over the top. Look at this Flipper Anderson card. That is a lot of juice, yardage-wise. Slant to Pete Holohan. Single cover, 3-man in zone. That's going to be a 14-yard pickup. 1st and 10 as he gets to midfield or near midfield. Gary and Delpino in the backfield. Curl to Henry Ellard. Single covered. And it's a long gain on the D card, 3-man in zone for 34 yards, but there's a flag down. Let's see what that's about. And it's another unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Bills. That's going to be 1st and goal for the Rams. Again, look at this box score. Look at these penalties. They're adding up. 6 for 54 now against the Bills. 1 for 5 still against the Rams. Bills have had the ball for 8 more minutes. They've had the turnover advantages, but the Rams on the strong arm of Jim Everett have been lining it up, moving it up and down the field. 3-4 showing blitz against a full house. Short pass to Buford. +15 and a touchdown as the pass rush could not get there. It was only a 26% chance of a sack. Jackie Slater against Leon Seals. And Everett finds his man, and the Rams go up by a touchdown. 21-14 in the 3rd quarter. Each time the Rams have gone up, the Bills have answered. So let's see what happens next. They'll get the ball at the 33 after a nice return by Don Smith. Well, Don Smith gets some carries today. He's got a lot of short gains on his card. I don't think we've seen him much. Bills beat the Seahawks 31-20. That's what I was telling you about. That even with Kelly throwing picks, he threw three picks there, but Craig threw 3 picks of his own. They beat the Steelers 21-13. Slant to Keith Muller picks up 13. Or Keith McKellar, excuse me. And the Rams, to get here, they did not win the division. They had to go on the road, or they hosted the wild card game. They beat the Niners. Then they had to go on the road to beat Dallas and go on the road and beat. Oh no, they hosted the Giants because the Giants were also a wild card, a lower seed. So 1st and 10 out to the 46. Off tackle left to Thomas being keyed. 2-man in zone on the D card. So now Zeb's really mixing it up here. He's trying to get Kurt to throw it deep and then maybe catch him with 2-men in zone, or get the guy double covered on Kelly's card, or even a straight pick chance on 10 could be disastrous. Kenneth Davis comes into the game. Button hook to Davis, being double covered. Incomplete. Zeb mixing it up with some great defensive calls. Third and 10. We've seen Kurt go deep here a couple times successfully on 3rd down and long. Will he try it here? Well, they try to catch Zeb in a double team and throw a flat pass to the tight end or the receiver. It's a crossing pattern to BB, incomplete 4-minute zone. Bills will punt. Now it'll be up to the Bills defense to make a stand. Punt goes down to the 2-yard line. It'll probably roll into the end zone. No, the Rams try to take it out. I'm not sure why. It could have been an animation thing. Look at it. It is at the 20 now. There's also a bug in the punt animations for some reason for spectators. So it says here he had a 14-yard return, but it looks like to me like it probably went into the end zone because it's lining up at the 20 instead of the 16. 5:50 to go. That could have something to do with that bug on kickoffs as well. 5:50 to go in the third quarter. Bills defense needs to make a stand. Long to Del Pino, covered by a 6, but it hits the guest right card on Jim Everett for a 29-yard gain. That takes it out to midfield. Cornelius Bennett was on the coverage and the tackle. Up the middle to Buford. McGee, 15 yards, guessed wrong. There was a man there, but it went on the offensive card. Rams looking to take a stranglehold on this game. Bills looking to turn him over and get the ball back. Three, 4 showing blitz. Is this the time the Rams try to go over the top to Flipper Anderson? It's an off-tackle draw left to Cleveland Gary, and that's going to pick up 6 yards as there was still a linebacker there on that side. Would have been 4 yards if he wouldn't have ran a draw. Second and 4 to 30. Off tackle draw right to Gaston Green, picks up 2. That'll be 3rd and 2 at the 28. Zeb's been known to be aggressive on 4th downs himself, so that's just because he doesn't pick it up here with his shaky field goal kicker. It's really like 4-down territory. Not showing blitz, 3-4 against the pro set. Bomb to Flipper Anderson. That running back's being keyed. And it's a long gain. It's a touchdown. Boom. Goes the dynamite. Jim Everett is just on fire today. They're polishing up that Super Bowl MVP trophy for him. 18-22 for 275 and 4 touchdowns. Rams go up 28-14, the first time they've had a 2-score lead today. But this Bills offense is quite capable. Oh, fumble chance here on the kickoff. Oh, it goes from bad to worse for the Bills. Rams special teams knock the ball out of Don Smith's hands. And they take over at the 19. This could easily, likely go to a 3-score game here. If the Bills can come up with their own turnover magic. Up the middle to Buford McGee, picks up 3. Down to the 16. What did I say earlier? Big plays, penalties, and turnovers. The turnovers were on the Bills side early, but they couldn't cash them in. And the penalties have certainly favored the Rams today. And now the turnovers are starting to even up a little bit. 2nd and 7, 2:37 to go in the game. Excuse me, 2:37 to go in the third quarter. Still plenty of time. You need to get some big plays of your own, though. This is the kind of place that Zeb likes to get you in, though, where you're desperate. Up the middle, draw to Buford McGee. It's a fumble, and the Bills get it back. They come up with that big play to keep it a 2-score game. Darryl Talley knocks it out. Leon Seals recovers it. So the Bills get the ball back, down 2 scores. Drive down, get a touchdown here, and it's going to be wide open in the fourth quarter. Slant to Keith McKellar. It's a long gain, 74 yards. Can he go that distance? He's a tight end. He's not a wide receiver. No, he can't. He can only go 43 yards. That takes it down to the 40. Bills finally get a big play. Thomas is in there in a 2-back, 3-wide set. If that had been a pass to a wide receiver, that would have been a 74-yard gain. What if we would have taken it down to the 10? Short pattern to Mueller. 3-minute zone. 80% chance of a sack, though. Here comes Kevin Green. Richter, can you hold him off? He can't. And down goes Kelly. Second and 21. Kenneth Davis checks in. Fly to James Lofton. He's being double covered, but Kelly threads the needle. 29-yard pickup. Nice throw. That was as good as you can get there in a clutch situation. On 2nd and 21. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 23. .102 to go in the quarter. Bills have got to punch it into the end zone this time. Curl to James Lofton, single covered, 40% chance of a sack. Mike Wilcher up against John Davis. And down goes Kelly again. So the pass rush cranking up for the Rams. So you kind of better off going to a blocking back pro set unless you really are threatening to run with Mueller. Let's get that extra reduction in the pass rush. 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Thank you, my love. Got a special coffee delivery for my sweetheart. I'm ready to cranked up, ready to go for the fourth quarter. 3rd and 8. Bills desperately need to convert this to stay in the game. Interesting. The Bills stay pro set. The Rams respond with 3-4. Kenneth Davis, inside run, picks up 5. Another flag and another devastating blow to the Bills as they go from 4th and 3 to 3rd and 18. What is up with the refs today? Let's look at the Bills penalty card. Yeah, I don't know. It must be coming off the Rams penalty card. Yeah, that was off the defensive penalty card. 3-3-5. Kenneth Davis runs a draw, picks up a short gain, gets it down to 4th and 4, where you know the Bills will go for it. Makes it a possible pickup without containment. Big play here. Three, four showing blitz. Does he dare run a draw here? Does he go for a flat pass? Will Zeb flood the flats, bring the house, or just call run? Pitch out right to Thomas. Thomas, it's guessed wrong, but there's nobody. And there's nobody there, but it's still only 2-yard pickup. 6 and 7 were not going to do you much good. 5 and 9 possible because you're running up against the 4. 8 would have been good, but you really wanted that on the halfback card. That would have been a conversion. So the Rams take over on downs, holding off the Bills. Off tackle left to Gary. Nobody's there, and the Robert Del Pino, the block of the fullback, opens up a 7-yard gain. You got to feel for Kurt. He had a good call. Maybe if he had run a draw up the middle or off tackle, but Zeb could have easily called run, so it's tough to do that. And it was a white dice 6 too, so a flat pass there would have been a good play. Long to Del Pino. 100% chance of a sack. Bruce Smith is finally going to get on the board. Down goes Everett. He hangs onto the ball. That'll bring up 3rd and 13, exactly what the Bills needed to get the ball back. That was a 10 asterisk pass rusher against a 0 back because he had thrown the ball to Del Pino, so Gaston Green had to take over the blocking duties. Off tackle draw to Gaston Green, picks up 7, and the Rams will punt. Out comes Kevin English. He's going to try to put some English on, or Keith English. I'll try to put some English on this one. And it's a 49-yard punt, and it rolls down to the 29. So he certainly did have some nice English on that one. So the Bills will take over there. 3 wide, 2 backs. They got to get down the field in a hurry. Thomas can still hit one of those edge numbers. So running's not out of the question here. Penalties and sacks have really hurt the Bills in the second half. Screen left to Thomas. There's one guy left there. That was the only linebacker in. Is he keyed on Thomas? And that would have been a 10-yard gain if he had gone to one of the other flat pass zones. 2nd and 7. Rams staying 3-3-5 against this new formation that Kurt has gone to. Sideline right to Reed, double covered, incomplete. But there's a penalty on the play and a hold against the Bills. How many times are the Bills going to be called for holding today? Let's look at the Rams. It's, again, coming off the defensive card. Yeah, so they have a lot of opponent numbers there. 2nd and 17, Kenneth Davis comes in. This is where we've seen him go for the short gain run, but maybe he'll mix it up and try to go for a bomb here. Maybe Zeb will try to see what Zeb does. Hoping he can catch Zeb in a run call and then beat him over the top. I think Zeb's willing to give up the runs, hoping it hits on the D card. He does call run, and it's a 13-yard pickup, so that'll bring up 3rd and 4. If he had tried to go deep there, it would have been incomplete. Kelly's incomplete on a 7. Deep. Four yards to go. Just like it was on the last drive. That one was a 4th down. This is a 3rd down. Will he run it here? He does try to run it. The Rams key still picks up 3, but another penalty. False start, 3rd and 9. That would have set up a 4th and 1. 11:02 to go in the game. It's not quite 4-down territory here, but the way the Rams offense has been moving the ball, you might consider going for it if it's less than 5. Hitch to Lofton, there's 2 men there. 3rd and 9, not sure what you do here. Tough call to go for it or punt. But Zeb's so good on defense, yeah. Kurt's going to punt, try to get a turnover of his own. $18-yard return there by Mickey Sutton. Takes the ball out close to midfield. A field goal here would be devastating. 2-score lead is still possible to get back in it. A 3-score lead with only 10 minutes left, it's likely not going to happen. Rams have a 14-point lead and the ball as they get closer to a possible Super Bowl championship. Long to Del Pino, go big or go home, and there it is, a touchdown. So not just a field goal here, but he hits him for a 55-yard touchdown pass to put him up 35-14. Jim Everett, 19-23 for 330 and 5 touchdowns. I don't think you're going to see Kurt watching this one again. Sometimes it just goes bad. It just goes bad for you. This one is certainly broke bad for the Bills. Let's see what Kelly can do now. Desperation time. Bomb to Reed. Defender extra plus 31. There's 31 in a hurry. I think you might see the Rams pull a couple guys back there to keep it 2-minute zone. Hey, if you can find the end zone in the next few minutes, next few plays, you never know. The way the turnovers work. Crossing pattern to Reed. He did have 2 guys deep. Incomplete. Bomb to BB. 2-minute zone, incomplete. 3rd and 10. Crossing pattern to BB, incomplete. Interception split. It's got to go for it. 4th and 10. Watch for Zeb to do some major double teaming here to try to put a nail in this one. Those linebackers will just stand still, that's for sure. Crossing pattern to Andre Reed, 40% chance of a sack. John Davis is trying to hold off Mike Wilcher. He does not do it. Down goes Kelly. So the Rams will take over, just trying to eat some clock here, as this has turned into a nightmare second half for the Bills. Kurt Warner comes into the game. The ex-Seahawk. He's going for his token carry. No, he doesn't get it. It's a left off tackle left to Buford McGee. Will Kurt get the ball? The crowd is chanting his name. Kurt, Kurt, Kurt. We want Kurt. We want Kurt. This is like Rudy, Rudy, Warner, Warner. The ex-Seahawk. Will he get a carry in the Super Bowl? It's a button hook. He's trying to throw it to him. And there he goes. But he only has a max of 5 yards since he probably didn't catch any passes that year. Yeah, he did not catch a single pass in this card set. But he touched the ball in the Super Bowl. And that's all you wanted. Cleveland Gary now in there. Look for a sneak to Jim Everett here. No, it's a slant to Pete Holohan, and it is almost an interception. So the Rams they might go for it here. They're feeling their oats. Figure they can convert this and then pick up a couple more first downs and eat some more clock up, or maybe he'll punt it. Keith English knocks it for 43 yards and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. If the Rams lose to a miracle somehow, it'll be Kurt Warner's fault for not being able to pick up that first down. Bills go for a run to Thomas. Now, this is what I would have maybe tried to attack the Rams with early in the game. 4 wide. So all those guys can go the max. Thomas still has his edge numbers, and you're running behind a 6 and a 5 and a 6. Reduced a little bit. So reduced to 5-4-5. Up the middle. Deep to Thomas, 2-minute zone, and it's picked off. Turn out the lights. The party's over. So there you go. 5:16 to go. 35-14. Rams in front. Warner back in the game. The only human interest story left there for the Rams is to try to get Kurt Warner a carry without having him fumble it. Pitch out right to Warner, picks up 9. So actually that's Warner's second run for the day. I guess I missed one earlier for a 7-yard pickup. When did that happen? I have to look back at the log. Maybe it was before I joined. But that should pretty much put the polish on Kurt Warner's MVP, Super Bowl MVP bid, as he's got 2 carries for 16 yards and a catch for 5 yards. Everett sneaks it across for 4 yards, and that'll be another first down, 4 minutes to go. And it really is all over but the crying now. Still a good season for the Bills, but just like so many of those good regular seasons and playoff runs in the 90s, it ends in disappointment. Not because of wide right, but this time it was just some really the penalties were killers. Penalties and sacks were just certainly in the Rams' favor today. Second and 10. Sneak to Everett. He's being keyed. Another fumble split, but he doesn't turn it over. I'm sure if Zeb could, he'd be taking knees right now. Everybody's filing out, all the disappointed Bills fans. Gas and Green and Del Pino in the backfield. Off tackle left, Del Pino picks up 6. Let him bring up 4th and 4. Mike Lansford comes on to the game. Did I call him Carney Lansford? Mike Lansford. Kicks up and good. That'll make it 38-14. Bills would like to find the end zone one last time just for pride's sake. And they'll take over on the 33. They go far wide. Deep to Thomas. Defender extra plus 31. Picks up 31. But that's the way I would have attacked the Rams. Go 3 wide. Not pro set. So he has 2, the extra linebacker to move around. Actually, he had the extra 2 DBs. Just go 3 wide. Throw at the flats. You can still run the ball. Bomb to BB. Oh, picked off. This time penalty saves him. Pre-snap penalty. But the way Everett was throwing the ball today, I'm not sure if any plan would have helped. He was red hot. Crossing banner to Reed, incomplete. 2nd and 15. That was a long gain on Kelly's card, but of course he had 2 men back there, so. Screen right to Thomas, picks up 6. Bills go hurry up. 3rd and 9. Might see another one of those. Zeb loves to blitz. Get those game-changing sacks, especially if they can strip sack him. Screen right to Thomas again. That picks up exactly what you needed. 9. Does not get out of bounds. 26 yards away from the touchdown. Calls timeout. Like I said, you want to, this is your last drive with the 1990 Bills. You want it to end in a touchdown. Crossing banner to Reed. Picks up 15. 1st and 10 at the 11. Gets out of bounds. Somehow 38-21 sounds a lot better than 38-14. Oh, here comes the sack, and it's a strip sack. So it'll have to be 38-14. 32% chance of a sack as Mike Peel went up against Will Wolford. And they'll take a knee. And that'll be it. One more knee after this. So your Los Angeles Rams and their watermelon hat-wearing fandom are going to celebrate tonight with a SSRFL championship. Let's take a quick peek at the website. See how many times Zeb has won this thing. There's the final whistle. I'm sure they'll have a quick post-game chat. But let's look for Zeb. So he won in 1976 and 1979. So this will be the Rams' third championship. They were not really doing the Coach of the Year thing anymore. Yeah, what did I stop doing that for? Actually, I should have done that, but we didn't do it in the. We didn't do it in the 76 or the 1983 USFL seasons. A little bit less interest in that. So really fun game to watch, really fun season. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. Coaches are exchanging their pleasantries at midfield. And we'll be back. I think 1982 is the season we're going to do next. So thanks for watching.